Okay, so this is going to be my Army recruitment thing video because I'm calling it a thing video because nobody commented and asked me questions or anything like that. So, I'm just going to put this question out there first and foremost before I get started on anything. My question to you guys is do you want me to stop doing the Army recruitment videos for now until I get closer to my actual recruitment after I've lost all the weight and everything? Or would you like me to continue so that I can, post or, make a video of the little tidbits that I can find out and, talk about some of the experiences that I had? You know, um, those are your two options. Still doing it with a little bit of information from my experience, my husband's experience, if I can get him on camera. I've been trying to for weeks. Um, and little tidbits of information I can find out for you guys, or do you want me just to stop doing them until I get closer to my recruitment so that way I can tell you what the process is like, from my point of view and not a recruiter's point of view? That's my question to you guys. Speaking of recruiters, if you've been watching, I hope that you've at least called and asked some questions at least, or you've gone and had an appointment and asked questions and, you know, gone on with it. Um, like I said, I'm not a lot to tell you guys right now. The only thing my recruiter keeps telling me is, to keep continuing losing weight and to study ASVAB like crazy because the MOSs that I want, I have to have a higher ASVAB score. Now, the thing is when I went and took the ASVAB for, uh, I guess a general AFQT area to see if I could even go in at this point, which I can. I got a 43. I would have at least needed to gotten a 31. Which is, I've heard it's pretty good for as long as I've been out of school, but it's not impressive to me. I need it to be higher. Um, that I could talk about. It doesn't matter what MOS that you want. If you do not have a high enough score on your ASVAB, right, to get that job, do me a favor, right? If you've taken the practice test and you know that you know that, okay, well, that number is not high enough. You want a better selection of jobs, get a higher ASVAB score. So study, 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 study. I just remembered something about MOSs. Oh, yeah. Sometimes when you go to MEPS and everything like that, and this is only from experience and loose experience because it's my husband's experience, not mine, but since he refuses to get on camera or even sit next to me so you can at least hear his beautiful voice, this is how we're going to have to do it for now. And I'm kind of wearing him down, but you're going to have to be patient. When he went in, he had a really good score on his ASVAB. I can't remember exactly what it was. I have to ask him for you guys, but he got a really high score on his ASVAB. He could pretty much have any job that he wanted to, and they told him, well, the only jobs that we have open for you right now are track mechanic or infantry. And since he didn't really want to wait, he picked track mechanic. I've heard, now this is just speculation on what I've heard. This is stuff that you can take back to your recruiter and say, hey, some crazy lady on YouTube that was doing these videos said that there was a rumor going around that if you get there and they don't have the job opening right then that you want, that you can actually wait until that opens up. It's a rumor. That's all I've heard. Don't take it seriously. Go talk to your recruiter about it. Okay? Go on to goarmy.com if you don't want to go and talk to your recruiter. Ask a question, can you wait if your MOS is not open? Another thing, if you want to get into 25 mic or the multimedia illustrator position, really hard to get into. Really hard to get into because they only have a certain amount of slots open a year and those go pretty quick. Just so you know. So if you have your heart set on a certain MOS and that's all you want to do, you might have to wait. If you don't want to wait, I guess you could always reclass. That's another thing that I'm trying to get my husband to talk to you guys about because he knows a little bit more about it than I do. But like I said, it doesn't matter what me or my husband say. I'm just trying to give you stuff that you can go to your recruiter about and ask them. It's don't take my word as my word. That this is exactly what it is. That's how it is. That's how it was. That's how it will be. Army changes all the time. Military changes all the time. There's rules that changes. Just all sorts of stuff changes. So you need to take the stuff. Like if you go, I think that chick's crazy. Take it to your recruiter. That recruiter can answer your question. I'm not saying don't go to your recruiter and listen to me only. I'm saying go to your recruiter. Okay. Another thing too that I'm doing that you might want to do as far as MOSs are concerned, is pick at least 4 of them that you really, really want. Without question, you would take it the drop of a hat. Put it on a list. Then pick jobs that if you don't score high enough for those jobs on your ASVAB, that you could possibly get, like a second tier of jobs, if you will, that you could possibly want, put those on your list, right? And then if for any reason you really have to get into the military real soon, and, honestly, I don't think it should be rushed, but if you are in a rush to get into the military and stuff, and they only have, certain jobs available, make sure that you have a list for those. That way you're better prepared. You already know what these MOSs are, what they're for, if you even have an interest in them, because, it's the worst doing an MOS or any kind of job, civilian or military or otherwise, that you absolutely hate. Because, I can tell you as a spouse, there's been plenty of times where I've walked into somewhere and I've wanted information from something or whatever, and just had somebody that really did not want to do their job, and that's something that you don't want to. You don't want to be that person that somebody can go, that person just doesn't want to do their job. It takes 5 minutes to get me the information I need, and this person just will not give it to me because they don't like their job. You don't want to be that person, because a lot of people don't like those people, and I can guarantee it that a lot of those people probably don't get rank. If they do, that's a whole nother discussion. But that's all I've got for you guys today. Like I said, I'm going to try and get my husband at least his voice and maybe a shot, so that you guys know that I'm not, just pre-recorded his voice and playing it back for you. I'm going to go ahead and try to get him on here so that he can answer a little bit more of your questions. Like I said, if you don't remember the question that I asked, go ahead and rewind the video so that way you can see it, because I'm not going to ask it again. I don't like to ask questions twice. Well, not really. Let me know what you think, and I will see you again next week, I guess. We'll see. It all depends on you guys, and I hope I do get to see you next week. So, rate, comment, subscribe, befriend, message, do what you need to do, and I will see you next week, hopefully. Bye.